Brian Kelly, the College Football Playoff, is saying, come get me. Thanks for stopping by here at the Voice of College Football, LSU. Check out the videos. Of course, we have dived already into the matchup against USC and provided some really good content with Matt Moscona from ESPN Radio, as well as our USC guys, Matt and Tim. We are going through some of the top teams in the country and looking at win probabilities. These are not predictions, but they are my probabilities of the win versus loss for each team in college football as it stands here in July. Interesting to note for the LSU Tigers that they've got most of their difficult games either at home or a neutral site. Bama's at home. Ole Miss is at home. USC's a neutral site game. Oklahoma's at home. Most difficult road games, Texas A&M, Florida, and possibly Arkansas. So let's look at the win probabilities here. You see them posted. They also play Alabama and Ole Miss at home after a bye week. So possibly the two toughest games on the schedule for LSU, probably the two most important they've got after a bye week, and they've got them at home. Time to make a run, Brian Kelly. November 9th against the Tide. Of course, the last time they came to Death Valley, it went down to the wire 33-32. And Bama got the best of Jaden Daniels and company last year in Tuscaloosa, 42-28. Give it a 50% straight flip of the coin here. I believe Bama's a better team at this point, but LSU's at home. Same thing with Ole Miss. Ole Miss may be a slightly better team than LSU at this point. Rebels could be extremely dynamic on offense. Should be. Game on October 12th, but it's in Death Valley. Give LSU a slight lean at 53% because of course, home field advantage. Texas A&M's probably the most difficult road test. October 26th, taking on Mike Elko and company. This has been a game that's been played at the end of the season, actually ever since Texas A&M has joined the SEC in 2012, but the game has been moved back due to the Texas A&M rivalry being relaunched with Texas. Give LSU a 54% chance of defeating the Aggies on the road. Then there's the opener, which is going to chart the course of the season in regards to LSU's quest for a college football playoff. It's not going to kill them to lose to USC, but considering this schedule, a USC win points them in the right direction. A loss only gives them margin of error one more time. The game's in Vegas. I give LSU a 55% chance of winning. The point spread, according to Vegas, is 7 points in LSU's favor, which would be, I would think, more than a 55% chance, but I think it's going to be closer to a 50-50 toss-up with USC with a slight geographic advantage. Oklahoma's the final game of the season in Death Valley, and there's going to be a lot of football, 11 games before that for our perspective to change. But as it stands right now, give LSU a decided lean at 57-43%. Then come some not so difficult games on the road, but they can't be discounted at the same time. Could LSU lose these games against Florida, Arkansas, and South Carolina? Yes, they could lose those games, but they are a much better team in all of these matchups against the Gators, the Hogs, and the Gamecocks at 66, 73, and 78%. Ditto, a home date against UCLA. These two teams played in 2020 at the Rose Bowl, and of course the Bruins pulled off an upset. This UCLA team probably not as good as the addition, which was Chip Kelly's last at 8-5 in 2023. Give LSU an 82% chance of winning that game. Then the other three are almost certainties. At home against Vandy, at home against South Alabama, which we give virtually the same chance of pulling off an upset a la Troy back in 2017 in Death Valley. And then the warm-up against Nicholls State, that's coming 6 days after the USC matchup. It's a tough schedule, but it's a winnable and manageable schedule for LSU. They could win all these games. They could win all 12 games. Now, the probability of that happening is extremely slight because 5 of these matchups are basically toss-ups. Alabama, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, USC, and Oklahoma. We're giving the slight lean for LSU in some of these matchups. But when you play 5 games that are virtually toss-ups, the likelihood of winning them all is small. Good thing for LSU and the rest of college football, there's a 12-team playoff. So LSU in the SEC needs to go 10-2 to make the playoff for sure. And those are the win probabilities as decided by us here at the Voice of College Football. Please share your comments down in the comment section below and keep it locked in right here at the Voice of College Football.